Hello lovely people, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, thank you for joining us. Grab a seat and your popcorn and you're ready for a ride. So in today's tutorial, you're going to be learning how to make this beautiful bustier. In the last tutorial, we already learned how to draft it. So in this tutorial, you'll be learning how to cut and how to sew everything together to form this. So let's get started. This is the fabric I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this lovely lace and this Ankara fabric. I have 1.5 of the lace and 6 yards of the Ankara. So these are the patterns. If you've not watched the video on how to draft the pattern, do make sure you watch it so you understand what we are doing. So I already placed my pattern on my fabric and I added 1/2 inch allowance for the joining. Then for the side of the side front and side back, I added 2 inches. This is optional. You can use from 1/2 inch to 1 inch, but I'm using 2 inch for a reason. Okay, so do whatever works for you. And I'm going to be putting zipper here. There is no going to be loop for corset. Nope. So I'm using zipper here and it's still going to fit perfectly as you saw on the mannequin. So I'm going to be putting 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. You can use between 1/2 inch to 1 inch for your zipper allowance. It's all dependent on the type of finishing that you are going for. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to just cut everything one after the other, as you can see. So as we are cutting, let me just pass this information to you all. So we have online tutorial, online class. We have beginners class where you're going to, if you've never sewn in your life, this class is for you. You're going to be learning how to take accurate measurement. You're going to be learning how to make gowns, how to make skirts. Also, we have trouser class. So you're going to be learning how to make 3 types of trouser. Okay, so you'll be learning how to make corporate trouser, how to make palazzo, and how to make short with string. It can be like joggers band. Okay, so you're going to be learning how to make all of this. These classes are packed and it's for just a token, so make sure you register. It is online on Telegram, so you can get access to it for life once you pay. So contact me on Instagram or you contact me on WhatsApp to make payment. So after cutting, now this is for the skirt part, which is the lower part. So you subtract your half length from your full length to get the skirt length. Okay, so let's say the full length is 60 and the half length is 15, so the lower part is going to be 45 inches. So now I folded this with the largest measurement, which is the hip measurement, plus 2 inches allowance. So if your hip is 42, let's say your hip is 44, then you're going to be folding 11 inches plus the allowance you want. In my case, plus 2 inches, so you're going to be folding 13 inches on fold. Then for the front, then you place it on the back just like you see me, and you can see that I already added my zipper allowance, which is 1.5. as you can see, this is very easy and very simple to do. So you can see that I already added my allowance for the back. So this is as simple as it can get. Now the next thing is for us to place the measurements that we require, horizontal measurements. So you place your waist measurement, your waist circumference, quarter of your waist circumference, you place it on it like so. If you're going to be adding that, you add it to it, but it is not necessary. Okay, so I'm going to be taking out the 1.5 inch that I added for the dart allowance. So I'm going to be using my exact waist measurement here. So you put quarter of your waist measurement. So if your waist is 28, you're going to be putting 7 inches here plus your joining allowance. In my case, I'm adding 2 inches for my joining allowance. You're going to be getting in depth on how to draft your skirt, everything in the beginners online class. Then now for the hip depth, I'm using 9.5 inch. that is where I'm going to be putting my hip circumference. So you put your quarter of your hip circumference plus 2 inches joining allowance, then you connect everything to the waistline. So on the hem, I'm going to be subtracting 1.5. You can go as much as 2 inches from the total measurement, from your hip measurement. Okay, so you subtract that, so that it's going to give you that curvy and like pencil like, and not too pencil like, you understand? So you just do mark all of your measurements and you connect to your hip. It is as simple as it can get. The next thing is for you to just cut it out. So it's simple like that. And if you want to have like a curved bottom, like on your bottom part, if you want it to be curvy, just put the request in the comment section. I'm going to work on it, on different tutorial on how to make your bum part to be curvy. Okay, so I'm going to explain it in another tutorial. If you want such, just put it in the comment section, then I'm going to work towards it. And if you've gotten to this point, make sure you press the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you follow for more. Okay, so after cutting this out, now remember that the top part has a back waistline. So there are different patterns in which you can achieve your back waistline. So you can just place the half length, you can just place it on the skirt like this, and then you cut it out. But before I do mine, I'm going to make sure that I join the upper piece together before placing it and cutting it out. I'm going to show you the second method in which you can use to achieve that back waistline. So now we are done with that. The next thing is to place our wording. So make sure that it stops at your under bust and you start from ½ inch below the starting line. Okay, then from the side you can come in by 1 to 1.5 inch, then you cut it out in a circular motion. So for the center front, you can decide to just cut it out on a fold like this, or you can also make sure that it is away from the center front and you cut it out. Everything is dependent on you. And I'm going to be cutting out 2 pieces of this for each, because when you cut out 2 pieces, it's going to give it more structure. Okay, so that is why, and it's not that thick, so I love to double it. Okay, so now I already cut out lining as well, so I'm just trying to show you all the allowances that I added to it. ½ inch all round, I already explained all this while cutting. So you cut the same thing for your lining. So for the yoke part, so you can see that I use the selvage edge for the center back, so that I'm going to have this beautiful effect showing on my center back. So I cut just 1 piece for each of it. So that is that for the front. Now for the back, I mean. So now for the front, I decided to separate the front into 2, the yoke, just like our pattern is. So I'm going to be using bias tape to finish it up for the center like that. So that's why I added ½ inch, and I added ½ inch all around. So you can see for my wording, I cut out two pieces for each, so it's going to give it more structure. So you can see that it is ½ inch below the starting line, so that when you join your lining to it, there's not going to be any obstruction. So now for that little design that is in the front, so I cut out 3 inches on fold. So you're going to be placing it on the bustier part, the upper part, before you add your yoke to it. Okay, so it's very simple. So that is the skirt. Everything is very simple. As you can see, I've done a lot of bustier courses on this channel. So if you're confused on any part, watch it again, and if you're still confused, watch other videos on my channel on bustier. So it's very simple and very detailed. So we are going to join the front together. You join the front together with the bustier part. You join your lining separately. So after you've joined the bustier together, the front, then you add that long stripe to it. Make sure it is longer than the normal length. Okay, so then for the back, I'm going to be joining where I added my dot. I'm going to be joining everything together. Then I'll repeat the same thing also for the lining. Okay, so this is very simple and very easy to follow. As I always say, I try as much as possible to break it down. Okay, now so I've gone ahead to do that. I don't want the steps to be too much at once, so that is why I'm going to be doing little and I'm going to be showing you the result so that you are not confused at any point. So you can see how plumb the bustier part is. You can see how it is standing without too much support because I doubled it, and you can see how beautiful it is. Now look at our back's effect. Look at our back's waistline. Look at how beautiful this is. This is very simple. So you go ahead and you make sure you iron your bustier. You can also see the yoke that I already used my bias to already turn the yoke. This is optional. You can just join so that there is no going to be, you can join it on your pattern so that there's not going to be any space for your yoke in the center front. This is optional. Now look at the back as well. You can see I already joined the pieces together. So after you put your zipper, after you fix your zipper, this is how it's going to look like. You can see this is looking beautiful. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. So now the next thing is to start finishing up. You can be done with this under 30 minutes. So you place your lining on it like this. You can see the way I placed it, then you sew it. So you can stop before your where your zipper allowance is going to stop, depending on the type of finishing you're going for. Then you attach the zipper to the fabric, or you can join everything together and then just attach your zipper. There are different ways in which you can attach your zipper and finish up your dresses. You're going to be learning this also in the online basic class, so make sure that you register for it. Okay, so now after you must have joined that, the next thing is to join your lower part, which is the skirt part, together, or you can join it together before you join it to your main fabric. This is totally optional. You repeat the same thing for the main fabric as well, and you do it for the both sides. Then you join your zipper however you want to fix your zipper. So but you should know how to fix your zipper. If not, make sure you register for the online classes just for a token, okay, just for 8,000 naira, and it is packed. You'll be learning different designs, how to make different designs. Okay, so now for the fronts, let us move over. The next thing, you'd repeat the same thing. You join your lining to the center, to your you see the way I flipped the yoke, then you place your lining on it just to cover the rough edges. Okay, but before that, I'm going to be getting my back's waistline. So I told you that I'm going to join the upper part first. Okay, so I've joined it together. Now what you need to do is just place it, see the way, make sure that it is perfectly aligned, okay, so that the one part is not going to be shorter than the other. It's very important. You know that this is going to be a V shape, so if one part is not properly aligned, it's going to show that it is not at the center. Okay, so it's very pertinent that you make sure that your fabric is properly aligned. Now the next thing for you to do is to place it. You can see the way I placed it. Then you mark it out. So you just chalk it out, just mark it out like that. You can see, so just get that. So it's simple. For you can use this one step, then you add your joining allowance, or you can just come down and measure the backs, the amount of allowance that you use for your backs. That's the second method. So if you use 5 inches, you just come down by 5 inches, then you add your joining allowance on the upper part. Okay, so that will be like 4.5. so just put all of this in mind. Or you can just, instead of going through the stress, just use the first method. Just place it on it like so, and you just chalk it out and you add your joining allowance. Very simple to do. So now you also fold your lining, the lower part, and you go ahead and you place it underneath and you cut it out. So it's going to be very easy for you to cut out now. So you just place everything like that and then you cut it together with the lining. If you are here to subscribe and you've gotten to this point, just put on the subscribe button and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified whenever I drop another tutorial. Okay, and make sure you share this tutorial to other people so that the algorithm is going to push it out to more people that needs it. Now the next thing is for you to join it to the lower part. Then you join your sides also together to the back. Okay, after everything is one piece. Now for the sleeve, I've already gone ahead to cut out my sleeve. If you don't know how to cut out your sleeve, all this also is going to happen in the online class. So I'm going to be using gather. So to get your gather, very full gather, you multiply the circumference of where you want to gather by 3. So that is what you're going to be using to cut out your stripe. Okay, so multiply. If the circumference of your round sleeve is like 9, you multiply it by 3, so that means you'll be cutting out 27 inches plus your allowance. So you're going to get, if you're going to be using flay, you can do that as well. So now for that other part, so I cut out 3 inches by 20 inches. Okay, so 3 inches on fold by 30 inches. I cut the same length as I cut for the other part for the front, so that everything is not going to align and go straight. So it's going to look as if it's one long single piece. So you cut out 2 pieces for it for both sides. Okay, so I've gone ahead to join my lining to my main fabric, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want it to be too cumbersome so that you don't get lost. So I decided to just show you what to do. So you can see I already joined the shoulder part of the front and the back together, and you can see how beautiful this is looking already. Okay, so now the next thing is for you to join the sides, just like I said, together. So you're going to be joining it fabric to fabric and lining to lining, so that the inside is going to be neat. You're not going to see any joining at all or any thread at all. So this is, like I said, there are different types of finishing. Okay, so you can decide not to do inseam finishing. This is totally optional and it's still going to come out nice however you want to do it. Okay, so now you just put it together like so. Make sure that the waist is aligned to each other, and then you join with your allowance together. So like for mine, it is 2 inches. So you join one side with your allowance, you mark it, you do the same thing for the other side as well. Then for the lining, you also do the same thing. So you can see the way I'm flipping it. You make sure you also join your lining together, so that by the time you fold it in, everything is going to be, all your seams are going to be inside. It's not going to show at all. So you can see how beautiful this is going to come out. I'm going to show you the inside after I am done. Okay, so now let us move over. You can see I've gone ahead to do all of that. I've joined the front and I've joined the back together. This is looking all good, and I have joined my zipper. Let me open it up for you so that you see the inside. So you can see how neat the inside is looking. Very beautiful and very demure. Okay, so now the next thing is to join our sleeves together. So now you're going to be placing that part, you're going to be placing it where it's starting from, where that part is starting from. Normally I would have just done like 4 inches from my shoulder down. That is where I would have placed it, but because we are going for like a continuous singular effect, so I'm using 3 inches by 21 inches. Make sure you measure round your sleeve to get your own perfect measurement. So you go ahead, you can put stay to give it a bit of structure. That is totally up to you. So you make sure you fold it like this, then you sew. After that, you turn it back to the right side so that everything is going to be properly aligned. Then you place it, just you can see the way you place it like this on the same line for the for the front part, so that everything is going to just go in a continuous line like that. Then you also do the same thing, you just flip it over for the back as well, and you do the same thing for the other side as well. This is what you're going to do first, okay? So before you join your main sleeve, so you can see I've gone ahead to gather the other part of the lower part of my sleeve. So after you must have joined that cold shoulder sleeve kind of to it, the next thing you will do is to just attach your normal sleeve to it. So it's as simple as that. So if you want to achieve the lower part where they place the lace, you can do it in different form, different shape, but make sure you do it before you join your pieces together. It's because I'm not going to be doing it, that's why I already joined my pieces. But I was like, you know what, let me just show you as we can see on the model, so that in case you want to replicate exactly that, you can know how to do it. So after folding it into two, you can just measure where your shoulder is going to stop on the center. So let's say 18 inches, you mark 18 inches for the center like that. Then for the side, you can come down like, let's say like 6, and then you join. So it's going to be like reverse backs effect like that. Okay, then you cut it out. Then you now use the lower part to cut your lace. After that, then you join it together back to your main piece. Or you can do the opposite effect. Instead of having the V shape on the upper part, you can make sure you can do the one that is coming down, just like you see on the model. You can use like 3 to 4 inches so that it's not too sharp like that. Okay, so that is that about that. Then you join it together, and then you have your shape. So I'm going to do all of that and join together, and you see the result. Ta-da! Look at how beautiful this is looking without snatching or anything. You can see how curvy the under bust is looking. So this is how to achieve. So thank you so much for watching. See you. Bye.